Hey, Emmett, I've got a... Whoa! Whoops.
What the heck?
Oh, jeez, I'm sorry. Your suit's ruined. Edna's gonna be royally PO'd.
Wrong.
What?
When Edna gave me this suit, I realized that the probability of me keeping it clean was infinitesimally remote, so I spent a few hours whipping up this.
Whoa! What was that?
A chemical compound capable of wiping the grime off any surface.
Emmett, you'll make a fortune.
Not anytime soon, I'm afraid. Due to an inherent instability in its molecular makeup, after 12 hours, the cleanser's component chemicals break down into a series of cloth-shredding enzymes, rendering it unsuitable for commercial use.
Wait a minute. Does that mean your suit's gonna dissolve in 12 hours?
Hey, gods, no. The solution dissipates into the air after it's applied. But it does mean that after this batch of cleanser ages another 11 hours and 53 minutes, it would eat away this suit faster than 1,000 starving moths. And that would be a crisis of unimaginable proportions.
Why?
Because this suit belongs to Edna's grandfather, who wore it on his wedding day. Poor guy was gunned down just a few years later.
Emmett?
Well, enough wool gathering. Back to work.
What's this?
It's the placard we'll be putting in front of our booth at the expo.
The scientist that caught Kid Tannen?
A small exaggeration, but Edna says it'll attract investors. What do you think of the picture?
You look a little... constipated.
What? Edna said I looked intense.
Yeah, intensely focused on taking it.
I get the picture. I'll have to find a better one. Unfortunately, there's a lot to choose from.
Heavy.
Extremely. Mother has been rather obsessive about photographically cataloging my life.
Hey, Emmett, what's cooking?
That's an old Brown family recipe for Hassenpfeffer.
Hassenpfeffer.
Rabbit stew. The trick is to add the cumin an hour after the carrots. Take a whiff. Isn't that just about the best thing you've ever smelled in your life?
It's, powerful, yeah.
I've got it on a slow boil for later.
Ew.
Ugh, did the clamp fall off again?
Yeah.
Put it back on. Oh, I don't even know why I keep that bacteria tank around. Every time the clamp falls off the nitrogen tube, it takes a couple of minutes before I can get the stench out of the air. Whew. I'd be careful of that if I were you.
Why?
The rocket fuel experiment must have stripped one of the teeth in the hand crank. As a consequence, if you turn it for more than 10 seconds, it... Ow! Sends out an electric shock.
How does the mental alignment thing work?
Here, I'll show you.
Hey!
The test subject wears this mind mapping helmet, which probes the brain by measuring fluctuations in skin conductance and electrical resistance on the surface of the parietal lobe.
Uh-huh.
When I turn on the mind mapping helmet with this radio switch, the subject is exposed to a series of visual stimuli, intended to provoke a series of positive or negative responses, as indicated by these lights on the helmet.
Hey, is that...
As the responses are recorded, they're relayed to this special typewriter, which prints out a punch card that represents the subject's mind map.
All I see is a bunch of holes.
Well, to you, maybe. But to our mental alignment meter, this mind map is nothing less than a peek into your subconscious. Observe as I place your mind map into the MAM.
Layabout. Is that machine calling me a slacker?
No, your own physiological responses did.
Hey, Emmett, I've got an idea.
What?
Why don't I take your photo album over to Edna so she can pick out your new picture?
That's a great idea. She's got a better eye for these things than I do anyway. Thanks, pal.
Don't mention it. Nothing happened.
Well, that button advances the slides during the mind mapping test. It only works while the test is running.
Wait, I know that. That's John Wilkes Booth, the guy that shot Lincoln. So, I guess he's supposed to be a negative figure.
Careful. Don't let all the flavor escape.
It's Danny Parker. He's a cop, so I guess he's supposed to get a positive response from model citizens. Ew. I don't know who that is, but he's clearly a tannin, so I guess he's a negative figure.
That smells good.
Hey, I remember that picture from Edna's apartment in 1986. It's a kid and a relative of Edna, so it's probably a positive figure. Ew. Trixie. I don't think Edna approves of her, so I guess she's a negative figure.
That smells good. Ah, that's the stuff.
They say I'm crazy, got no sense, but I don't care. They may or may not mean offense, but I don't care. You see, I'm sort of independent. I am my own superintendent. My star is on the ascendant. That's why I don't care. I don't care.
Hey, Emmett, I think your mind map test is broken.
Oh, well, that switch just keeps shorting out on me. No time to fix it now. I'll have to take care of it at the expo.
Looks like I'm not going to be doing any more mind maps. I guess I'll test this out and hope for the best. I wonder how this new mind map for Emmett turned out.
I do get the mean and stony stare. If I'm never successful, it won't be distressful.
Bingo!
'Cause
Now Emmett's mind map is as bad as Tannen's. Now all I have to do is swap this out with Emmett's original mind map, and Emmett's own machine will do him in. Okay, Emmett, get ready to meet the new you.
Hey,
What?
I almost left behind my mind map card. We're gonna show it off at the expo as a rare example of a model citizen. Edna kill me if I forgot that.
She might kill you anyway when she gets a look at that mind map. Once Emmett gets to the expo, I'll try to figure out how to get him to put his card in the mental alignment meter. But for now, I better concentrate on making Emmett a slob who cheats on his girlfriend. That cleanser doesn't seem very portable.
It isn't, but this is.
Perfume bottle?
Yes. No. I mean, yes, it's a perfume bottle, but inside is a concentrated dose of my all-purpose cleanser. With a little luck, this should last me through the next 12 hours before its component chemicals break down into a series of cloth-destroying enzymes.
Clever. What the hell is that?
What?
Sorry, I thought I saw a tarantula. Emmett says this stuff will clean anything, but it only has a 12-hour shelf life. Too bad I haven't got 12 hours. Or do I? What?
I was just thinking about the future. All that talk about Edna's grandfather made me realize something.
Please let it be something about lightning.
Life can be short, sometimes brutally so. So why not seize the day and grab your happiness while you can?
I'm not sure I like where this is going.
I was saving this for next Valentine's Day, but why should I? I know what I want.
Emmett, no.
I'm gonna ask Edna to marry me. Right now.
No!
Oh, right. I'll wait until tonight at the expo. It'll be much more romantic that way. Just think. By this time tomorrow, Edna and I will be engaged and will be the toast of the scientific community. And I owe it all to you.
You're welcome. Hey, Emmett, I've got to go out for a while.
I thought Edna sent you to make sure I wasn't getting distracted.
Oh, you'll be fine. Doc said to tell him when the light on his diagnostic thingy went green. Nope, no green light yet.
Times may be hard in Hill Valley, but our present worries fade into insignificance when we ponder our Pleistocene past. Is the wolf knocking at your door? Be glad he's not a Tyrannosaurus, king of the ancient lizards. And if you find yourself drowning in debt, well, you could be drowning in something a whole lot stickier, like the Hill Valley tar pits. This peek into the distant past is brought to you by Lamont's House of Urban, reminding you fur is forever.
It's a good thing I did this before Emmett's 12-hour time limit, or the cleanser might have dissolved the fur. Let's slip out of those furs, shall we? I brought Emmett's photo album like you asked.
Let's see.
Gee, he's not bad looking, in an egghead kind of way.
Remember, I don't want you seducing him for real.
I ain't a cradle robber, kiddo. Now bring me those furs, and we'll be in business.
If Jen and I ever strike it big, we're never wrapping these things around our necks. It's my skateboard of the future. Well, from the past. That's a good thing these things never caught on. Now we're getting somewhere. Ugh, I hope this stuff doesn't get stains all over my guitar. It's supposed to have all of Doc's notes for building a time machine, but it's empty. If the real Doc were here, he'd probably say something like, "The timeline ripples have finally caught up with it." Hopefully once I fix everything, it'll be full again. Hopefully once I finish breaking up Emmett and Edna, this paper will return to normal. A 1986 electric guitar in 1931 Hill Valley? Not sure how useful this is going to be. Good old regular Dad. I wonder if I'll ever see him again. Hey, Trixie. Are these furs good enough?
Well, they're a little ratty, but, they'll work.
So, you got everything you need for your big scene?
Everything except for your friend.
Emmett Brown, redheaded guy about yay high. He'll be the one with Edna Strickland.
Not for long, he won't.
Great. Hey, the light's green. That means Doc could take the DeLorean out again.
I see. Well, you certainly do know a lot about me, Mr. Sagan.
From one investigative reporter to another, Miss Strickland.
One might question your motives, but one can't help admiring your method.
Can I talk to you a minute, Miss Strickland?
Surely. Excuse us a moment.
It's like this. That's all the questions I got.
Very well, then.
Hey, Doc. Mr. Sagan.
Excuse me a moment, Miss Strickland. I've got her neutralized for the moment. How's the plan proceeding on your end?
I swiped this from Emmett's, your lab.
My
It's
anti-stick, anti-stain formula. I remember it well. I had high hopes for that concoction, until I discovered that it decays into a cloth-shredding enzyme after 12 hours.
That's what your younger self said. Good news. I think Trixie's gonna go along with my scheme.
Pursue whatever strategies you like, but please don't tell me the details.
Dad never told me about a Hill Valley Expo.
It was Mayor Thomas's idea. He had visions of Hill Valley becoming a magnet for big investors in the technology sector. But the venture folded after the third year when the influenza exhibit leaked into the concession stand.
Oh. It's about Edna.
Don't worry, she's not going anywhere right now.
That's good, but... Have you found out anything that can help me?
Only that she's stubborn, argumentative, and completely convinced of her own moral superiority.
Great, thanks, Doc. That really helps. What are you two talking about anyway?
It's a private matter. I promised I'd keep it between us, for the present.
She isn't starting to get under your skin, is she?
Heavens, no. The memory of her older self wheeling me into the reconditioning chamber is just too strong. The younger version is decidedly more attractive, though.
On another subject...
Less distasteful, I hope.
Edna made a point of saying that teenage you looked great in her grandfather's suit.
I did cut a fine figure in that suit. She hated it when I got it dirty.
Is it true that you only had eyes for Edna?
At that time, I'm afraid so. always tended to idealize the opposite sex. I was educated in a boys' school, and Jules Verne was always a little sketchy with female characters.
You ever got time for a therapy session, Doc? You know how that mental alignment meter of yours pegged you as a model citizen? Well, wait till you...
Stop! You're going to tell me about one of your schemes to make Edna break up with me, aren't you?
Yeah, see, Edna
I
thinks...
don't want to hear it. I know it's in the service of a good cause, but I still can't bear to know the details of my younger self's impending heartache.
Maybe I could talk teenage you into losing the suit.
I doubt it. I knew how much that suit meant to Edna, and at that time my only desire was to please her.
Horrible news, Doc. Emmett's gonna ask Edna to marry him tonight.
But that's not how it happened. She didn't get me to propose until much later, that night at the lake.
Something I said must have caused him to move up the timetable.
Great Scott! This time travel business is trickier than I imagined.
It'll be safe in there. I need to talk to you.
Excuse me, my dear. Yes?
About that gizmo you've got hooked up to the DeLorean?
The chronometric analyzer?
Yeah, the light's gone green.
Wonderful. If the systems check out, I should be able to take it for another test run. I've got to run a short errand, Miss Strickland. I suggest you think about what I've been saying.
Oh, I will.
When did you land this time?
9 hours and 37 minutes ago.
Ouch.
Frankly, it started to get a little difficult to avoid running into myself. Still, the time jump yielded some interesting new data on the flux field. I'll run some more tests, and we'll see what we find.
Doc's trip aged the formula a few hours. Not enough to turn it to acid, though. Nope, no green light yet. Emmett.
Michael,
What?
I'm at my wit's end. My portable anti-stick, anti-stain formula's disappeared.
Can't you make more?
There's no time.
Don't worry, I'm sure it'll turn up soon.
Good. There's no way in God's green earth that I'm heading to that expo without it.
I'd better not return it yet. I might need it to clean something. If only this stuff was several hours older, I could use it to dissolve Emmett's suit. Hey, the light's green. I need to talk to you.
Excuse me, my dear.
Not at all, Mr. Sagan. Take your time.
Much obliged, Miss Strickland. Yes?
Your chronometer's gone green again.
Excellent. Let's hope this time my test run is a success. I'm sorry to desert you again.
Yes, well, you've left me with plenty to think about.
any luck this time?
Depends what you mean by luck. My arrival time was off again.
By how much?
8 hours this time. Gave me the chance to take in 3 showings of Frankenstein. Good movie. A bit implausible from a scientific perspective, but I can see how my younger self would have been mesmerized.
What about the DeLorean?
Oh, yes. I did get one critical piece of information. The chromium elements in my circuits became unstable during the temporal shift. I should replace them with titanium.
Great!
Now, unfortunately, titanium won't become commercially available till the Kroll process is perfected in 9 years.
9 years?
But there may be another solution. I'm going to fire up the chronometric analyzer again. Then, while I'm stalling Edna, you can... Uh-oh. Where'd Edna go?
The lab!
You better get down there before she makes the situation impossible. I'll tend to the DeLorean.
Age to perfection. Hey, Emmett, I'm back.
Oh, my.
You know, I thought you were coming down here to keep Emmett focused on his invention.
Oh, she is. But she's generously scheduled brief canoodling breaks every 45 minutes to keep my mind fresh.
Time's up, dear. Let's get back to work.
Shall we?
Now, Mr. Corleone, what can I do for you?
Mr. Sagan says he needs to talk to you back at the high school.
He does? Whatever for?
He says he's got a lead on the speakeasy arsonist.
He does he? Well, I'm not sure anyone cares about that old story anymore. But I suppose I could spare a few minutes in the service of solving a crime. Will you be all right without me, sweetheart?
It'll be tough, but I think I'll muddle through.
Try to keep him focused. He's so easily distracted.
Don't I wish?
There it is. I've been looking all over for my portable anti-stick, anti-stain formula. Where'd you find it?
Out by the trash?
That's strange. I haven't been out there for hours. Oh well.
Are you gonna spray your jacket? It's looking a little dusty.
Not until it's really dirty. This cleanser doesn't grow on trees, you know. Well, some of the ingredients grow on trees, but the rest are synthesized polycarbonate
Really
detergent
dirty?
blends.
I can do that. I'll wait until you're at the expo to show Edna what a suit-destroying slob you can be.
Well, that's about it.
It is?
Yep. As soon as I get all this stuff loaded into the truck, I'll be ready for the expo. Want to lend me a hand?
How about I go tell Edna you're coming? I'll, get her ready for you to pop the question.
Good thinking. Go on ahead. I'll meet you there.
I really hope this works.
Marty!
Doc! What time is it?
It's almost time for the opening ceremony.
Holy jeez, I better work fast. I think I got it all worked out. When it all comes together, Edna will think you're the worst guy in town. I just need a couple more pieces.
Well, don't go to too much trouble.
What do you mean? Oh. You got the time circuits fixed.
Not exactly. You see, I've been mulling things over, and... in the timeline you're from...
The right timeline?
Yes, I've got a wife.
A great wife, Clara, and kids, and a dog, and a bitchin' time train,
And Edna? How does her story turn out? How does she end up?
Oh, well, Edna ends up... To be honest, she ends up kinda sad.
Sad?
She lives with some cats in a dinky little apartment, and she spends most of her time yelling out her window at people, and collecting newspapers, and living in the past.
I see. Perhaps we've been going about this problem the wrong way. Do we really have to completely obliterate my timeline so we can restore yours?
Doc?
Maybe we could have the best of both worlds. I could be with Edna, but it could be a little bit, more healthy.
Can you hear yourself? Do you know what you're saying? Let me remind you. Doc, she tried to erase your brain.
Oh, she was terrible, no argument. Horrible. Oh, but she started out with such pure intentions.
So did Nero. I don't believe this.
All I'm saying is, let's stop and take a breath. This elaborate plan to derail my younger self's love life, is the short-term misery worth the long-term gain? Maybe we can find a third way. One where everybody wins. What do you think?
No. I'm sorry, Doc. I can't go along with what you're saying. You don't belong with Edna.
So you're determined to break us up, in spite of my stated wishes?
Basically, yeah.
Then there's nothing left to say?
Where are you going?
Why should it matter to you? Aren't you planning on overriding me?
That's all the questions I got.
Very well, then.
Hey, Emmett, what's keeping you?
Oh, hello, Michael. I guess I've got a mild case of stage fright. I'm about to play my big scene, you know? No telling how Edna's gonna react.
You've, got something on your suit.
Oh, so I have. Anti-stain formula, work your magic.
Emmett!
Just in the nick of time. Step back now. We're gonna need a little space here.
Oh, aren't you a vision? Like something that descended from the heavens.
Yes, I'm feeling a bit elevated at the moment. There's something I've just gotta ask you.
Wait, your tie's a bit crooked.
I've been holding it inside for weeks now, and I've simply gotta get it off my chest.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
My grandfather's suit!
My formula!
Oh.
Don't look! Turn your head! I'll be right back, and we can try this all over
And
again.
it's Lathrop Brown!
Huh?
Trixie Trotter! How do you know this woman?
I don't! I mean, I listened to some of her records, and I may have taken a picture or two of her, but I...
Go on! Deny to the world that you know me. Perhaps it is true, but I know you all too well.
What is going on here?
You rich boys are all alike. You think material possessions can compensate for a broken heart. Well, you can take back your furs, and take back this gaudy diamond,
Ouch!
too! I don't need your expensive presents. I need you. And more importantly, little Emmett Jr. needs you.
Well,
Edna, I...
don't Edna me. Apparently you are not the man I took you for.
But I am, see? The mental alignment meter proves it. I am the man you fell in love with.
Let me see that card. I should have known. A degenerate criminal.
What?
Get out of my sight! I never want to see you again!
That was rough, Emmett. I'm sorry you had to go through it, but things are gonna be okay. You and me can... Emmett?
That went off great, huh?
Yeah, maybe too great.